I had this dream on actually December 31st, 2017, today, Sunday, and I had two dreams. And because they both brought the same person into the dream, a former coworker of mine, I feel they're prophetic. The first dream, I was with my former coworker from years ago. Her name was Lucy. Now, Lucy was a go-getter. I mean, she got things done. She was a very good friend of mine, and I think about her from time to time, as we do all of our people that we've known in the past. I think God will bring us back together with them somehow at some point. Anyway, Lucy, the name Lucy actually means, the meaning of Lucy is light. Now, granted, I know that Lucifer means light, the light bringer, bringer of light, but my friend Lucy did not represent the devil. She represented the transformation when the bride goes out, because we will be light. We will be glowing light because the Lord Jesus Christ lives through us and in us at that point, and people will see him through us. So that is why she was with me, because I was with the light. You have to be very careful when learning about the light, because the fallen angels use the light. They use the phrase light and love consistently, often, frequently, as much as you can imagine, because they are deceiving people. So when you hear the phrase light and love, you think it's a good thing, and it is a good thing when you're talking about Jesus. But beyond that, let's go back to the dream. In my dream, I was going to Hawaii. Yay, because I've never been there, and right now it's like 7 degrees in Indiana, and Hawaii would be nice and warm. And I know Pastor Farag, I don't know how to say his name, sorry, JD, lives there, and it just seems like a wonderful place to go. And in my dream, I believe I was on a plane and we were going there. Now, at one point, I was walking around with Lucy, and I looked up and I saw what I was showing you here, which is a purple sphere in the sky. I immediately knew it was a UFO. Now, there were like circles or spots around the middle of it, like you would see in a UFO, like they have the circles of lights around there. And I knew it was a UFO, and the people around me were kind of ignoring it, but they knew it was there. And I believe in the dream, I believe this means, well, this is actually the truth, that disclosure is starting to happen now. They have released in December the Harry Reid findings and what he has been doing as far as having money to search for that. They're showing you stuff about that. And each day now, more and more pilots and people are coming out. You have to be extremely careful, because many of these people that will be coming out and talking about UFOs will be considered whistleblowers. They are considered whistleblowers now in their own community. And when I say community, this is the community there where people speak to, quote, aliens, and as if they are guides or ancient peoples, ancient civilizations. Some of them even know they're angels. They do channelings, and they believe they are coming back, which they are, but we know them to be fallen angels and demons, some type of beings that are not good. They lie, they deceive, and from them comes this love and light. And they're also using this disclosure to start on, and this is very important. I know it's not really part of my dream except for the UFO, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. It is very important that you know that God has told us years ago that he was going to start separating the wheat and the chaff, the good from the bad, and he is. We see this happening through a lot of the arrests right now with the pedophiles and Pizzagate, government stuff. Everything is starting to come out in the open. Okay, Donald Trump said he was going to clean the swamp, and that's what's happening. But it's being directed by God. God can use anybody in any way to carry out his will, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now, here's the part about disclosure. There's a group of Earth people, humans, I don't know what you call them, us, that consider themselves an alliance. Now, it's kind of like Babylon 5. They call themselves the Earth Alliance. They say there's a Dark Alliance. It all goes together, in my opinion, because they're from the fallen angels. But these people believe they're acting on the best interests of Earth and humanity. And what they are saying and what their fallen angels are telling them is that this good alliance is the one that is draining the swamp. They are saying that they are directing some government leaders, and that Trump is helping. Now, I have not seen anything where these whistleblowers talk about Donald Trump being part of the alliance. I don't believe he is. I believe he's individually working on his own, and that God is directing him. I don't know if he's a Christian. I kind of doubt that. But I don't know. We are not to judge someone's heart. I know a lot of people feel that Trump is Illuminati. He's a New World Order, and he's part of the bad guys trying to take over. Then you got the other people saying, this alliance group saying, no, he's doing what we're telling other government leaders to do. They're all directing him, blah, blah, blah. I think God's in charge. I think God's carrying out exactly what he said about splitting the wheat and chaff. But you're going to be hearing more about this alliance because of this disclosure that's going on. Just don't be deceived. Don't be deceived, because they're going to be sounding so good. Okay, so the second dream, Lucy and I, and this one's even more prophetic, really. Lucy and I went to the Olympics. I tell you, it's crazy, because there's no way I can go to the Olympics. And in my dream, I said to Lucy, I did not qualify for any event. So I knew it didn't seem right for me to go, but I found instructions specifically for me with my name on them, and it had to do with communications with the higher ups. So what I interpret this to be is, communications with God. He's the Holy Spirit, and I do speak with him. We hear his voice in our hearts all the time. Promptings, we follow promptings. So that when I woke up, I thought, Olympics, I haven't thought anything about the Olympics. I heard once about a month ago they were coming, and I'm sorry, I kind of ignore them. I ignore all this sports stuff, and although there's one more thing, I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl here in a minute. But the 2018 Winter Olympics will be held from February 9th to February 25th in, of all places, South Korea. Well, gosh, in my opinion, that's not that far from Hawaii. So I kind of connect the Asian area with my dreams. I connect Lucy. Lucy was in both dreams, for Pete's sake. I mean, that just doesn't happen to me. I remember getting up in between these dreams. And so I went back to, when I got up the first time, I thought about the first dream. I went back to sleep and had a dream about Lucy again. So they're in South Korea. Now, here's my thought, because that's, for the most part, that's what I remember about the dreams. The Olympics being held in February 9th to 25th, pardon me, what if this has to do with the harvest period? What if the reason I'm going into the Asian peninsula, if you will, an Asian part of the world, is because that's part of my harvest area, which would mean that we are in the harvest period sometime in February. Now, I will go one step further and tell you that another confirmation for this is from Bette Stevens. She was on the Tribulation Now program a couple weeks ago, well, November 20th. I'm going to post this link under my video. Her particular part of the link comes in at an hour and 29 minutes, and I will tell you, it is a rare thing for me to agree with everything a person says in any video. But in this video, she talked for an hour and a half, and I agree and believe with everything she says. I wrote her an email. She's talking about the transformation of the church and the bride, the called out ones, and I agree with everything. Now, towards the end, and I wish I could find it, but I'd have to go through the whole video to hear it again. Towards the end, she said that Jesus told her to watch the Super Bowl closely. Okay, I don't know what that means, and that's all she's been told for the moment, so I'll be listening to her more. But the Super Bowl is on February 4th, I believe. And I'm sorry, I should have pulled that up. And so I personally do not believe the transformation is before the Super Bowl, because I agree with what Bette Stevens, her messages throughout the years have always rang true and genuine to me. And so I believe that there is something we are to look for during the Super Bowl. Now, this Super Bowl star is right within the week before the Olympics even. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. Is there going to be something brought up about Israel, about splitting the land, because to me, that's kind of part of the whole beginning of this. And here's what we know about that. We know, this is Warrior Princess's website, Sound the Alarm, and she said back in December 13, 2014, a great earthquake is upon you. It will strike suddenly and without warning and will hit California first and then New York City. There will be a massive chaos as this happens. Note that New York City is the east of the United States. Once this happens, the cosmic event will not be far off. Later on it says, this is not the great shaking, but it's a major birth pain. And we know birth pains start the labor. So what we see in this message is that it strikes without warning. Now, many people feel like this earthquake that's going to split the country will be the New Madrid fault from Chicago down south, all the way down south. I disagree. Because if that happened, then this earthquake that she speaks about here from California to New York City would not be a surprise. God says it will strike suddenly and without warning. Okay, so he also says down below that, let's see. Well, of course I can't find it. Anyway, strike suddenly and without warning. It also brings to mind Barb's word, Barb from 278 Pike Lake, her word that says, a great earthquake is coming to your land. Your government will try to help, but will only be able to help a small number. No food, no water, no electricity will be commonplace, and to add insult to injury, it's going to be cold, freezing cold. Okay, and I wanted to tell you that because right now we are having a very cold winter in the United States. We've had records already, and it's not just snow, it's freezing cold, and it's not even today, it's not even January. So I wanted to tell you guys about the dreams, and also to kind of keep track of disclosure, at least in the media for what it's worth. But also because this freezing cold word, to me, this was when I first found it. I know I bring it up a lot. But this, God is telling us the season, the physical season of the earthquake in the United States, since that's what's going to split. And it's going to be cold, freezing cold. So we know it's going to be within the winter months, which is now. So now we have the winter months. We have something we know that the Super Bowl will occur because Bette has been told to watch it. Now, if the earthquake happened in January, she would not have been told to watch the Super Bowl. So I know that's disappointing, but it's also God telling us a little bit of timing. He's telling us to watch the Super Bowl. I know there's a lot of Illuminati stuff going on then, so let's pay attention to that, because right after that comes the Olympics, and we truly don't know what's going to happen, but it could very well be this winter because of all that's going on. I think more and more words, messages, and even dreams will come about just within January. And whatever you do, watch Israel, because there's a lot going on there. And that's it for today.